Reaching a big milestone in another big year. Time just keeps on marching on, that is crystal clear. 23 full years of questing, no banks or deaths, I've got my tricks. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2006. Welcome back to May 22nd, 2006. Jumping right into it today, because the training comes later here. On May 31st, 2006, postbag from the hedge, this time featuring the lizards that are around the minimap in the current interface, the evil gnome Gluff, evil penguins, which we will see more of later, and zombies. All sorts of wacky stuff in the postbag from the hedge. Coming to a bank near you, and all the other banks, 3 more rows of bank space, for a total of 376 slots. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? Instead of only having 28. Although storage is going to be coming here pretty soon. There's been some interface changes for where it shows combat level and quest points. Those move around every so often here. Overall, pretty useful stuff. Just telling you where the new ones are at. On to actual content. We've got a whole bunch of stuff all over the place. Like new plank spawns all around the world. None of them quite as good as just picking up the larger quantity up at the Barbarian Outpost, but it's something. On the topic of planks, the building store with Rasmeyer here in Morton now sells less planks and mostly timber beams for a nice cheap price here for all your temple building needs. In other wood-related activities, we've got some new teak and mahogany trees in quite a few different places, like out in the Karazi jungle, on Ape Atoll, here by the dungeon ladder, and also over towards the gate where all the monkeys will shoot you if you go too far. Probably don't go too far. Not the best strategy. Over by Oozer, in this little green space here. And a bit southwest of Castleworth. All these new trees are in pretty awkward locations, but it's the price you have to pay for not chopping them at the Taibowanai area. And that requires trading sticks and that whole business. Anyways, all these trees and their logs and those planks, all incredibly useful for if you want to sit in a chair. And you'll be sitting in a chair in your player-owned house, built with the construction skill. Next skill unlocked. Wild stuff. Over 20 rooms, 330 pieces of furniture, 11 new NPCs, 12 dungeon monsters, craftable toys, new cosmetics for armors and shields. We got a trophy room, tool rack, different architectural styles, butlers, new content and abilities you can unlock in your house, magical spell tabs, throne rooms, all sorts of crazy stuff in the construction skill. Since it's a new skill, Tears of Gothics won't work on it for a while. Make it so you have to actually train the skill at the start. And training the skill at the start begins at an estate agent. 4 different ones. And one in Sears Village, Falador, Ardoin, and here in Varrock. Talk to estate agent. Hello, welcome to the Gillinorian Housing Agency. What can I do for you? How can I get a house? The estate agent can sell you a starting house in Remington for 1,000 coins. As your construction level increases, you'll be able to move your house to other areas and redecorate it in other styles. Do you wish to buy a starter house? Yes. Thank you. Go through the Remington house portal, and you'll find your house ready for you to start building in. Also get a handy book, construction guide. Let's just ask him about houses. What do you got? Move your house, redecorate the house, another guidebook. Just tell me about it. What are we thinking here? Tell me all about houses. It all came out of the wizard's experiments. They found a way to fold space so they could pack many acres of land into an area only a foot across. They created several folded space regions around the world, each one containing hundreds of small plots where people can build houses. Ah, so that's how everyone can have a house without them cluttering up the world. Quite. The wizards didn't want to get bogged down in the business side of things, so they hired me to sell the houses. There are various other people across Gielinor who can help you furnish your house. You should start by getting some planks. Try buying them at the Grand Exchange, or making them yourself at Fort Fornithry. Neither of these things exist yet. What he really means to say is, go to the sawmill. We'll get to that. Planks. Obviously the first thing we need. We got the construction guide here. All the information you could ever dream of for construction. How to build in your house. In order to build, you need to turn on building mode. So we've done entering the house, you're using the button or options interface. If a bank pin, you just enter it when entering building mode. In building mode, the ghostly shapes of furniture and doorways you have not built yet will appear in your house. These are called hotspots. You can use these to build furniture and new rooms. Build a piece of furniture, right-click the hotspot and select Build. You'll be able to select your piece of furniture you want to build from the menu. Below each furniture icon is a list of materials. To build the furniture, you'll need to have all the materials in your inventory. You also need to have the correct construction level. Nails work slightly differently to other materials. You'll sometimes find you break nails, especially if you have a low construction level, so you may need to bring more nails than the furniture requires. Nails that have stronger metals will break less often. You can remove a piece of furniture if you wish to build something else in the same space. Do this, right-click on it and select Remove. Not get any of the materials back. Some pieces of furniture can be upgraded to better pieces of furniture without having to remove them first. To build a new room, you must use one of the door hotspots at the edges of your rooms or garden squares. Right-click and select Build. Bring up a list of rooms. Different rooms cost different amounts of gold and have different construction level requirements. Select Build on a door hotspot that already leaves your room. You'll ask whether you want to delete that room. Raw materials. The main raw material you will use to make furniture is planks. The plank maker just north of Remington, we'll also get to that, player-owned house portal will turn your logs into planks for you for a fee. Useful planks are wood, oak, teak, and mahogany. There's all those new trees. Alfred Stonemason Terribly sells cloth and nails. Not true. For higher level furniture, you may also need limestone, marble, gold leaf, and magic building crystals. These are sold by the stonemason who lives in Keldegrim. We'll head over there and check him out too. Some pieces of furniture also require materials that are not specific to construction, such as steel bars and soft clay. And then we have all the room types. Parlors. The lowest level room provides space for 3 people to sit around a fire. The garden is a largely decorative, but also contains the exit portal. Kitchen can be used for preparing food. To build better furniture in it, you also find yourself able to prepare better meals in it. The dining room. 8 people can sit around the table you build in this room. In the bedroom, some of the furniture in this room can be used to change your hair and clothes. Also need to have 2 of these rooms in order to hire a servant. We'll get to that. The halls are used to connect other rooms, while also providing space to show off your owner's skills and quest achievements. The games room has various games that we built in the room to allow friends to play and train together. The combat room, you can challenge your friends in personal dueling ring. The workshop allows you to train construction without modifying your own house by making furniture and be sold to other players. Also provides space for you to train crafting and smithing. Chapel can be dedicated to any of the world's major gods, and the altar can be used to offer bones. Menagerie doesn't exist yet. Study can use the lectern in the room to create clay teleport tablets, recording magic spells. Eagle lecterns make teleport spells, and demon lecterns make enchantment spells. An elemental sphere in this room can be used to change the element of an elemental staff. Classroom doesn't exist. Portal chamber. In this room you can build portals to various places around the world. Formal garden can contain various plants and ornaments to beautify the grounds of your house. No aquarium. Throne room can be used to hold audiences with large numbers of friends. It contains a lever that turns on challenge mode. The oubliette. If you build an oubliette below your throne room, you can drop people from there into a cage, which you can fill with various horrors. And in your dungeon, you have corridors and junctions to create an underground maze full of monsters, traps, and doors. And the treasure room at the end, where you can place a prize for visitors to your dungeon to try to reach. And also servants. Once you have 2 bedrooms, you can hire a servant by going to the Service Guild in Ardoin. You have to pay them when you hire them, and then they will periodically demand wages. You can take items to and from your bank, also greet guests, serve food and drinks. All sorts of cool stuff. Lots of information in there, because it is the entire skill, essentially. Also, like they said here, there's also redecoration options. His magic can rebuild the house, the grounds, or the dungeon in completely new style. Even change the lighting. What part would you like? This is a whole separate addition here. Changing the style was originally only the house style. You got basic wood, basic stone, whitewash stone, Frederick style wood, tropical wood, fancy stone, and they have level requirements and costs for changing it up. Later, in 2015, you could select options, like you said right there, between the house style, the ground style, and the dungeon style. Locations, you can also do here. About houses, move the house to Rimington, Taverley, Podovnich, Roleka, Brimhaven, or Yanil. Again, for various prices. As you'll see, construction is a skill of using a bunch of money. And that's why we have 6 million coins here. Preparation. We don't need to move the house just yet, but we have options here as we level up. Depends where we want to have it in the future. There's a few good reasons to have it in Rimington for right now. You can even reset your entire house in 2018. Well, that is a whole separate feature. Very complicated. The first things we need, obviously, for making the house is planks. And that can be accomplished quite easily by heading to the sawmill. Over in the lumberyard, new guy, just to the northeast of Varrock here. Got plenty of trees around that you can chop and turn them into planks at the sawmill, which no longer exists. Not only does it no longer exist, the entire thing that it exists in no longer exists. And not only that, but the store, very important, all the things you need is now quest locked up further north here. And that's not until 2023. So we got a little bit before we can get to that without doing any more time shenanigans. But we can get away with not worrying about that with a series of updates. We can get what we need, essentially. Technically, there's no way for us to currently get one of the things we really do need. But with the magic of using an inventory space and tool belt shenanigans, we are going to have a hammer And we're going to buy a saw. Buy a saw. We could change this image to a saw. Why not? Bam, it's a saw now. Switch them around. Hammer and saw. There you go. These are the cornerstone items of construction. But we still need access to the other pieces, and also the ability to make planks. Luckily, due to a series of updates in 2012, 2013, 2018, and 2019, replacements now exist in Remington, which is super convenient, as that is where our house is. The starter house in Remington. Running down here. Technically don't need to. Need to get a hammer though, so that counts. In Remington, instead of Varrock, we've got a store which sells some nails and bolts of cloth. Well, these are helpful. Again, pretty much the only place we can get these. Of course, this store doesn't have a saw, so we've got it. It works. And not quite as many nails of the different types. And farming stuff is in a completely different shop. So this is where we can get bolts of cloth. But honestly, I think we're just going to go make our own nails. We can definitely make steel nails at least. They will bend less often, which is very worthwhile. And then the sawmill guy here is now the plank maker. We don't have any logs that can be cut into planks. That's alright. Want me to make some planks for you? What kind of planks can you make? Can make planks from wood, oak, teak, and mahogany. Can't make planks from other wood as they're no good for making furniture. Wood and oak are all over the place, but teak and mahogany can only be found in a few places, like Karanja and etc. That's another way we can't get teak and mahogany, is from kingdom management. But yeah, as much as these are right here outside the house portal, we're still going to need to teleport to Varrock, run over to where they should be, and come back. Trying to at least keep some semblance of how it should be. There's that. Also, got a few other stores we can check out. One's right back up in Falador here. So we can make the planks. We're going to make our own nails. Probably while we're here in Falador, honestly. But another shop here in Falador. We've got something around here. Shop, gardener shop, garden supplier. Want to buy some garden plants? What are the plants for? For planting in your house's garden, of course. How do I do that? Same way you make furniture. You'll find plant hotspots in your garden. You need to have one of my bagged saplings with you when you build at them. I see. Want to look at my stock? Yes, please. All kinds of plants in here of varying prices. Got dead trees, nice trees, magic trees, roses, sunflowers, plant 1, 2, and 3. Got hedges, fancy hedges, box hedges. All the plants you could ever dream of at the Falador Garden Center. Lovely. And then just one more shop to go check out. I'm going to make the nails first, since we're here in a place where we can easily make nails. The Keldagrim Stonemason Shop. It's in Keldagrim. Wow. Talk to the stonemason. Do you want to buy any stone for building, or gold leaf? What kind of stone do you sell? A few kinds. Limestone, of course. Here in Keldagrim, we're surrounded by the stuff, so I can practically give it away. You'll be able to build some kinds of furniture out of that. Marble is much better, of course, but it costs a lot more for me to get a hold of. You can make some beautiful pieces of furniture out of that. I also sell gold leaf, which can be used to decorate furniture made of marble or mahogany. Then, for the very special furniture, I sell these magic stones. One of the most skilled builders can work with them. They can create a few amazing pieces of furniture with them. So, you want to buy anything? Yes, please. The wildly expensive and also limestone shop. 130,000, 325,000, 975,000, and 21 GP. A good place to get limestone if we're not feeling like going and mining and cutting it ourselves. Getting to Keldergrim takes a little bit though, so it's all conveniently in a shop though, so counts for something. We will not be using these very expensive resources just yet. There's some things that we could want with those though. That'll be okay. Also got plenty of steel nails to make those. It looks like a lot, but the smithing recipe makes 5 times as many nails as it used to, so it's only a few hundred, realistically. Well, that'll be okay. Next stop on this tour of all the important construction locations, the Servants Guild in Ardoin. Right up this way. Kind of in the northern part of the city here. Servants for construction. Open up the door, and here we can see all kinds of people. We got a chief servant, a demon butler, maid, butler, a royal guard, Rick, all kinds of guys. Up to the chief servant here. Welcome to the Ardoin Domestic Service Agency. Tell me about servants. Do you need help around your house? Our trained efficient workers are ready to serve you. They can cook meals for you and your friends, make tea, serve drinks, greet guests, even take items to and from the bank for you. The more expensive servants will be able to make trips to the bank more quickly. Some of them can also go to the sawmill to change logs to planks for you. Remember, you'll need to keep paying your servant. You pay them once when you hire them, and then they'll periodically ask for wages. You can dismiss your servant at any time. Servants. It's an entire system. They do all kinds of house stuff, especially if you have guests around. And most importantly, bringing things to the sawmill. Turn logs into planks. Also, all the banking stuff obviously doesn't matter for us since we don't have a bank. Technically, the going to the sawmill system backs up into the bank if inventories are full. So we just need to not do that, and anything that ends up in the bank needs to be removed at some point. Obviously, we can't just ask them to go and get them. That's a fairly robust system, requiring various levels for each of the various people here. 20, 25, 30, 40, 50. Higher level, better ones, obviously better. And there's a whole system for how you get them to come to your beck and call. But that also requires actually having the house and constructing things in it. And their payment structure also has some things. Talk about that a little bit more when we actually get a servant. But we are nowhere close to ready for that. Next thing we need to worry about here is going and getting some actual planks. For the start here, we need regular planks. Which is not too exciting. We could just go ahead and bring regular logs to the sawmill, but that would cost us 100 coins per plank, and I would rather not do that. So instead, we're just going to pop up to the Barbarian Outpost, pick on up planks, hop in worlds, and then need to get back to the house, which is very, very doable. Honestly, it's enough of an inconvenience running all the way up here and then hopping worlds. They were just not going to bother with that. So instead, we don't need water runes anymore. And that gives us another inventory space, which does have its benefits. Blink, blink. Alright. Yeah, I think we'll just make the planks, chop the trees, all that. So, transportation. We need to go between a few different places. Somewhere with trees that we can chop, which currently regular and then oak. It's basically everywhere. The house and the sawmill. Currently we have the planks, so we need to get back to the house. And that is going to be best done with the house teleport spell. Teleport you to your player-owned house. Law, earth, and only one air rune. Unlike all the previous teleports, which were more of 3 air runes kind of situation. It's like Lumbridge, but with less air. Teleport to house. And we bought our house already, so we can teleport here. No place like home. This is our house. We got a magical portal, 1 room with nothing in it whatsoever, and house settings. There's a few different things about how this whole system works here. Teleporting into the house was the default setting on house teleport. Later it becomes toggleable to be able to teleport outside the house. And while inside the house, we've got all these other toggles. Call the butler. Don't have a butler. Can't do that. Expel your guests. Leave the house. And turn on building mode. Can't do that while you have your pet. Pick up or dismiss your familiar before you can enter building mode. I guess it's time then, isn't it? I guess it's time then. We made our glories. We made our adamant hatchet here. See if we can get a good straight look on the cat here. Cat, you did an okay job. You became lazy, and you're not really that good at catching the rats anymore. I need every inventory space I can muster here. So, holding you in my backpack while I train construction is just really, honestly, no good. We already have enough things in here as it is. Some of which we actually were going to be not needing in a little bit. But yeah. It's been a good time. You were helpful, got through the quests, made our spicy stews. But we gotta say goodbye to the cat named Hope. They hoped that this wouldn't come, but building mode is a no-go. Technically, could hold on to him, but I think we're going to hit a point where we absolutely cannot have the cat anymore before we get to a point where we can have the cat forever. So, this was coming at some point here. Well, that's okay. Go live in the void here, I guess. Do you want to shoo away the cat? I am. If we need to do more spicy stew boosting, we can always get a new one. Only get them to regular cat, Hellcat, and be fine. Honestly, just about as good as lazy. Shoo, cat. Welcome to the void. There you go. Now we can access building mode. Click a button in the interface. Toggle it. And now we can see all these ghostly locations they were talking about. We can make plants, trees, more rooms, and then we've got the parlor. At level 1 construction here, there's only a few things we can make. We can make more gardens and parlors, up to a maximum room limit and size of the house limit. We can make one of the plants, rebuild the exit portal if we destroy it, which is not a great strategy. Another fern, another short plant. A couple things out in here. And inside the house, there's only one thing we can make. In the chair slot. The crude wooden chair. This whole system, with the left/right click in and the numbers to use to build the stuff, all that's been added in the future. Keybinds 2004-17 and all that. Drop the hammer, make the chair. And there it is, a crude wooden chair. It looks terrible. We're terrible. We can sit in it. Good stuff. And then we got remove the furniture. Yes, and don't ask me again. Another later toggle added. More construction achievements here. And then you just build another chair. Maybe bend some nails. That's why we have so many of them. And our first level. Level 2. Construction. New things. In the parlor here. A brown rug and torn curtains. These, unsurprisingly, use the bolts of cloth. Technically we could go get those. We don't really need to. We're just going to keep removing this chair, building another one. Ultimately, it is most efficient to use planks for most of the training. There's level 3. Level 3 construction. Clay fireplace. Soft clay. Another material that's used. There's the fireplace right there. Again, we totally could make that. But then we need to go get soft clay, and it's a whole process. I don't know. We could build multiple crude wooden chairs here too. Really spice up the place while we bend all these nails and get level 4 construction. And that makes bookcases. Bookcases. Another thing we can do. Build another chair here. Why not have 3 horrid wooden chairs from the start of our construction adventure? Bookcases in the corner. Build a bookcase. This one takes 4 planks. Oh boy. And since it still uses nails, it also takes longer, which is unfortunate. Once we get past things that use nails, which is a wild thing that that's how this works, but I'm not complaining, we will stop needing to worry about all that. Level 5 construction. That is 3 quest requirements. The kitchen. The fire pit. Decorative rock. Dead tree. Cat blanket. And a start room photo booth in Damonheim, once that exists. Wild stuff. So we got a few new things for the garden. Decorative rock goes in the middle, so you need a separate garden that doesn't have the portal in it if you want to put a big decorative rock in. Dead trees, oh boy, very fancy. And the rest of this is for the kitchen, which is a very useful place to have. So we will build on the door here. 1,000 coins for a parlor, 1,000 coins for a garden, 5,000 coins for a kitchen. Build it. We can also rotate it, because all the things are in where they're going to be. We'll build it this way. And that is another achievement here. The kitchen. The fire pit is in the stove space. Also got table, larder, sink, shelf, barrel, and the cat basket. Just reminding me that we got rid of the cat. Doesn't actually do much. That's okay. There's a new room. We can build a few new things. Mostly going to be useful later. And now we only have 1 plank left here. That's not super helpful. We need to go get more planks. And that means going to the sawmill. There's a few ways to get there. One method that works much better in old school RuneScape is having your house eventually in Taverley, running down, chopping a willow log, and taking the hot air balloon over towards Varrock. But the willow trees don't exist there anymore. And the hot air balloon between Remington here and all the way up to the crafting guild is a bit too far of a run. There is a willow tree right next to it though, so technically we could do that if we were really trying to save law runes or something. But mostly, the best bet here is a Varrock teleport. Simple and effective. And then we make our way towards the sawmill while chopping down currently regular trees, which also is just a little bit more annoying than what it will be once we don't need to do this anymore. Start of construction, for whatever reason, is the most awkward part. Between needing nails and regular planks from regular logs from singular trees, it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess. Oh yeah. So, run up this way to the sawmill, and then technically go back to Remington to actually use the sawmill. It's a system. Yeah, plenty of regular trees on the run here. Don't think it's the job done. And then we need to pay for all these planks. Is it quicker than running all the way to Barbarian Outpost from Ardoin? Then world hopping multiple times? Yeah, probably. Not cheaper though. Although then we do need to consider the money-making processes we have available. I'm thinking probably it's going to be thieving for the most part at this point. Oh yeah. We grab a bunch of logs, run up to about where this will be, used to be, should be, and make some planks. And by that I mean back to Remington. Then outside the portal, over to the plank maker. Buy all the planks. Extra interfaces. Nonsense. Additional right clicks on here for quickly entering the house. Very convenient. Entering in building mode. Makes things simpler for us. And now we can remove things, place new things, keep training construction. Still bending these nails. Wild stuff. Once we finish this bookcase, we can look at it a little better again. Once we stop bending all these nails. If it's this bad with steel nails, you can imagine how bad bronze would be. You can search the bookcase for all the various books that you've gotten. They all just pop up in here. Pretty great. And they've even been alphabetized instead of just a crazy list. 6 construction, wooden shelves, and mid-level plants. Go grab yourself some bag plant 2. You can put those in your plant spots. Amazing stuff. The XP per resource is pretty solid. Construction's a fairly fast skill, all things considered. Overall, training is very doable. We're just going to be blasting up the levels here. Should be a good time. There's level 7. And that is the pump and drain, new sink, or maybe the first sink, and a beer barrel for the barrel slot over there. Uses planks, steel nails, and various beers. We're still rocking options of only 2 or 4 planks, so our 17 available slots is not doing the best for us currently. Just need to make more unlocks here. How about level 8? The wooden chair. This requires 3 planks. There you go. Better than a crude wooden chair. Get rid of that. And now, wooden chair. Uses 3 planks instead of 2. We're already getting better at construction, as instead of whatever nonsense we've made here, we can actually make, once we stop bending all the nails, a nicer looking chair. Isn't that nice? This chair is over here, all alone, looking superior. But we have the weird number of planks here, so wooden chair it is. Trying to make the most of every trip we make here. Bringing stuff in, making stuff, removing stuff. And if we leave building mode, we can see what we actually have in here. Is some bookcases and some chairs. Definitely would look better with a fireplace here, and curtains, and furnishings. But we are mostly focused on levels here. There's going to be a lot of levels. Very easily. 9 construction. For one more chair there. Wooden larders. Next piece in the kitchen here. I guess the first piece we're building though. 8 planks, 8 nails. Wild stuff. If you have enough inventory, you could do 3 of these for 24. We do not. So instead we're just going to keep breaking nails here. So we're trying to build one singular thing. That's enough for level 10 though. Amazing. 10 construction. As a quest requirement, the dining room. We can build a new room. Amazing. Wooden dining table and wooden dining benches in the dining room. We can add a pond to a garden. Nice trees in our garden. The basic stone house design. And also can switch to the smooth stone dungeon style once those become separated. Town Hall Tier 1, once that exists, and the oak, refined oak planks and oak frames for that. There's a whole separate construction system. Much, much later. Instead of worrying about any of that though, we're just going to build our dining room. Level 10 construction costs 5,000 coins. And we can rotate it the ways we want it. Connect it so we can exit through this way here. Build the dining room. It's got the table spaces. We can put the table in here. Wooden dining table, planks and nails. Also has curtains, the benches, fireplace, some decorations, and the bell pull space, which will be much more important once we actually have a bell pull. 11 construction. That is a fire pit with hook this time. An upgrade on the previous fire pit for the stove space here. We don't need to make anything with that yet, so not too worried about it. We will wait until we can make a much superior stove and all those other pieces. Eventually it will be helpful. Not just yet, though. And then we go and get another set of planks. Good stuff. 12 construction. Well, that is a few new things here. Wooden kitchen table in the kitchen for 3 planks. Apparently easier to make a dining table than a kitchen table. Why not? Cider barrel, which needs cider. Could pick those up in the miscellaneous dungeon if we wanted to. Wooden shelves too. And higher level plants for the garden. Since we have this number of planks here, we can make 1 larder and 3 tables here. That uses up all 17 planks. Will be a lot nicer once we deal with this and can have more planks. There's a maximum we're going to be able to get here, though, even if we drop a lot of stuff. 13 construction. We can make rugs. Better than the Teddy Brown rugs. Use a few more cloth. That's okay. Build another plank table. Just more wood for right now. Rugs can go in a lot of rooms. Currently only have the parlor. That's okay. 14 construction. That is a quest requirement. And the rocking chair. And we have 3 different kinds of chairs in here. Remove this middle chair here. Just going to keep the crude chair here. Why not? Wheelchair space, rocking chair. 3 planks, 3 nails. Same as the regular chair and the kitchen table. But yeah, the rocking chair, amazingly, rocks. In a literal sense. Look at us go. 15 construction. Another level. We get the workshop. New room. And in there we can make a repair bench, tool store 1, and that's pretty much it for right now. Put an imp statue in the garden, oak trees in the garden. We can now have a maximum dimensions of the house of 4x4, and later, chapel tier 1. Let's build our workshop. Let's place that down this way. I got the whole thing planned out here. Workshop, 10,000 coins. You see it keeps getting more expensive here. Build this in either way. It's only got 2 doors, so it's going to be one way or the other. Clockmaking space that side, repair space this side. Which way does this come in here? Let's make it that way. Then I can be able to use the workbench space here more effectively. Build the workshop. Got the tool store spaces, workbench spaces, all kinds of stuff in here. Tool store 1 and the repair bench that we can make at 15 are interesting because they use oak planks. And with that, I think we can safely be done with regular planks and nails, which is fantastic news. So now, we will teleport out, and instead of chopping down all these regular trees in an annoying fashion, it's going to drop the steel nails and go chop some oak logs. Pros of oak. Normal trees you can just chop without having to go to each individual one. I guess they're the opposite of normal trees. Special trees, which you can chop multiple logs from each one. Cons of oak. More expensive. As we will see when we go to the plank maker. Once we chop these, run up slightly, and teleport back to Remington. Regular planks were 100 coins each. Oak planks are 250. So, more expensive. By a lot. Make 18, since we no longer need the nails. That's how many spaces we have. Costs about that much. Enter into building mode. Go make the things we can. Like crafting table 1. Clockmaking table. Crafting table. Oak planks. 16. Repair space. Something like that. One of these. Repair bench. 2 oak planks. You can do some repairs or something. And then the tool store. 1. Oak planks give more XP, which is also nice. If we search in here, we can actually get a saw now. Hilariously, you need a saw to make the thing to get the saw, which is definitely something. And we need to look at the options here. We can completely replace this for a 16 construction. Well, that is the pluming stand, which allows you to do some stuff. Crafting table 1, and oak wall decorations. Over here, we can build the decoration space. But first we need to buy a logo from the Chief Herald of Falador. In the heraldry spot here, we can make a pluming stand. Allows you to paint your family crest colors on a steel or rune full helmet. We don't have either of those. I don't know if that even really works now with the current ways things are. Might not even exist anymore. Go check that. And then also crafting table 1 here. Clockmaking, not quite. Crafting though. And with this, we get 17 construction. There's fire pit with hook and wooden workbench. Kind of upgrade kind of situation here. Uses regular planks and steel nails in the workbench space here. So I need to go get regular planks. I don't really feel like doing that. At the clockmaker's bench here, we can now make toy horses out of regular planks. Ain't that something? Yeah, let's go check out the heraldry business. All the family crest stuff here comes from Sir Renity here in Falador. What's that, young man? What can I do for you? I don't know. What can you do for me? Do I have a family crest? I keep track of every Gillenorian family, you know, so I might be able to find yours. I'm also something of a painter. If you've met important persons or visit any nice places, I could paint them for you. They've got paintings here too, which we'll get to later if we want to make some paintings. Also for the house, of course. See if I have a family crest. A family crest, So what is your name? Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic. Hardcore Ironman, Artic. Let me see. Well, I don't think you have any noble blood, but I see that your ancestors came from Kandarin, so that can be your crest. Perfect. You can also change it if you want, and make choices in various ways. Various crests require various requirements, like having 70+ prayer for the god crests, or bringing 500,000 coins for the money crest. We can go with just the one we get here. Kandarin, they say. Oh my gosh, we've killed a white knight. We should get out of here. Also, we can drop the fake saw now that we have the real saw. Amazing. Everything's working out. We can go get some more oak planks and make our new decorative spaces. How fun. Here's our decoration. This is the symbol of Kandarin. Some arrows. It's something. Also, 18 construction. Asgardian ale barrel. Need some Asgardian ale. Put in the barrel here. And new non-torn curtains. Amazing. We definitely put those up some places. Unfortunately, some of the rooms don't have curtain spaces just due to the amount of slots available. So there's still going to be some barren windows either way. We could put up some curtains if we wanted to. Also, the helmet stand does exist, and we can make the helmets there. So I think I'll go grab a steel full helm. Check that out. Maybe just make the Asgardian ale barrel here. Why not? But first, there is 19 construction. Oak chair and cat basket. Improvements over the cat even worse thing. So, oak chairs. Easy enough. Replace our not too shabby wooden chair. The new oak chair. Lots of different chairs. This one has everything you'd hope from a chair. Definitely you can see it's looking better and better. Keep leveling up here. Using hiring requirements, making things. Really get into the groove here. Building chairs, deleting the chairs, making more chairs. 20 construction. That is 2 quest requirements. A new room, the bedroom, which inside we can put the wooden bed and a shoebox. Hire the first servant, Rick, but he is not very good. He can't do things that we want him to do, so not gonna bother with that. Also not gonna bother building a bedroom yet. I got plans where I want those to be out of the way. And it's not necessary yet. We will need 2 bedrooms when we want to hire a servant, but again, not yet. New whitewashed stone style for the desert theme. Also the specific changes for those 2. Manor Farm small pens, when those exist. The Hetz Oasis water filtration system, when that exists. Willow frames and refined willow planks, when those exist. Plenty of construction things that don't exist yet. And that's not even counting the new rooms that don't exist yet. We'll get those eventually. Not just yet, though. Here's all the Asgardian ales. Build the Asgardian ale one here. Some of these could technically be more useful, but that would require us getting the various drinks. Most of this is just for show here. The Asgardian ale and the Kandarin decoration kind of clash, but that's fine. 21 construction. Wooden shaving stand for changing beards in your bedroom. Make helmet, the pluming stand here. We got the regular steel full helm, which looks like this. Not very impressive. Make helmet, steel helmet. Get the colors and also a feather. Color of the Kandarin color. The steel definitely looks not very much different, but it does get the Kandarin red plume there. That's nice. We don't need this for anything. Steel heraldic helm. Slightly more useful for a rune helmet. Kind of higher level. We got a berserker helmet, so not gonna worry about that. What we might worry about would be putting in some curtains if we wanted to. I don't know if any of these curtains at least go this way. Don't really need to. Worry about all that later. Just get an XP. Just get an XP. 22 construction. Oak dining table and benches. That is a pretty good time. Mostly because it allows us to get rid of the old table here. And it takes 4 oak planks at once, which is also pretty nice. And also the same situation for the benches. 4 oak planks. We got 18, so we can do 4 things and then a chair or something. Making use of the full inventory here. It works. 23 construction. Wooden shelves, 3. A whole bunch of different kinds of shelves we could put up in the shelf space if we wanted to. Here's our new oak bench. We can sit on it. Whee! 24 construction. Small oven. The next in the cooking space sections here. No longer just a pit with stuff on it. Now fully an oven. Wow. 25 construction. New room. Also a quest requirement. The skills hall. Interesting location. Has 4 doors. So you just put it in between anything. Works perfectly. Once again, a room that we need to put somewhere else in the grand plan here. No, not going to be building it. Can make the crafting table too, with a addition of a molten glass. So we need to go do that. Tool store 2 is available. Can make the oak clock in the bedroom. New maid available. Starting room farming patch in Damonheim and command center tier 1 and kitchen tier 1 later. We can just go ahead and build new tool space here. Tool store 2. We got hammer, chisel, shears, and saw from the first one. This one has spades, tinderboxes, and buckets. The tool store area is very convenient for getting a whole bunch of stuff, as we keep on adding new things here. Just in the house, instead of having to go to stores and stuff. Very fun. Got a rope from Ned and Draenor, which I'm going to use here in a bit. Also trading the sawmill here. Get some bolts of cloth. Gonna put in some curtains. Why not? Enter the house here by teleporting from Varrock to the house. Build in the curtain space. Curtains. Puts the curtains up here and wall decorations on the parts where curtains don't exist. That's okay. Works well enough. And then build another table here. And that's good for 26 construction. New oak armchairs, which use 3 oak planks. Lovely. Green men's ale, very similar to the Asgardian ale we already put in. And the rope bell pull, which is very important. Over in the corner of the dining room here. Bell pull. And you can ring this to get your servant to come on over. Of course, we don't have a servant yet. We don't even have the 2 required bedrooms to get the servant. We got our old oak chair here. Replace that with an oak armchair, which uses 3 planks. This one has a little cushion. How fun. And another one. There you go. Add in more and more things to the house here. There's definitely still spots we could totally add things, like put in a rug, get some clay. The parlor here has some plans, though. So, probably not going to worry about this room, unfortunately. 27 construction. Well, that is the pump and tub, new water source for the kitchen, oak chest of drawers for changing clothes in the bedroom, an oak staircase for going up and down floors, because that's a thing you can do. We'll be doing that later. And later, hidey holes easy, which are going to be very, very nice. 28 construction. That is suits of armor. Specifically, mithril in... well, mithril, adamant, rune, Castle Wars 1, 2, or 3 in the skill hall. We don't have that, and requires various requirements, like the smithing levels or having the Castle Wars armors. We have none of those. Generally, we're 1 off from being able to do the mithril. That'd be something. Put something in the skills hall once we make it. Not right now, though. 29 construction. Well, that is a large oven. Upgrading once again in the oven space. Oak shaving stand for the bedroom for more beard options. And oak bookcases. We can replace the old regular bookcases here. I think we'll still keep the crude chair and rocking chair. Why not? I mean, until we get rid of the parlor. I've got plans. Anyways. 30 construction. Milestone achievement. Level 10s. Very good. That's a quest requirement. New room. The games room. That is a place. Put in various games, starting with hoop and stick game. Where you throw a hoop at the stick. I'm not going to be building a games room. Don't really need one. Maybe later. Maybe later. Can also make an oak bed for your bedroom. Plant some willow trees in the garden. And hire a cook as your servant. Maximum size increased to 5 by 5. We're definitely not making a massive house here, by any means. Also the Fremnik style, house style. And also we can move the house to all these various places with all the different styles as we get them. Later on, the other decoupled parts of this, teak frames and refined teak planks. That's a whole thing. Eventually we will build a new room here. We're getting there. Made it to the point here where we're not getting an entire level per inventory. Sad times. There is 31 construction. That is a quest requirement. And carved oak dining table and dining bench. For a fancier look. And more planks used. 6 here. With our current 18 planks, this is beautiful, because we just make 3 tables and then we're done. We'll also replace the benches here, because why not? They look fancier. Everything's matching nicely too. Lovely stuff. 32 construction. New room, the combat room. We can do combat. Not gonna build that one either. Put a boxing ring in there. That's something. And a sturdy god statue. Interesting. I don't think that one exists yet. Nope. Also, oak workbench and oak kitchen table. And put those in. Build in the workbench space. That's a regular old oak workbench. We're gonna get higher level ones eventually. Takes 5 planks. That's gonna leave us an awkward amount. We can do that later. We're gonna just remove the old wooden table here in the kitchen. Slap in an oak kitchen table. Looks nice. Takes 3 planks. 33 construction. That is stone fireplaces. If we don't want to put in clay ones. We need to go get a bunch of limestone bricks for those. Very possible. Oak larders, which are very cool. Take 8 oak planks. And also the cushioned cat bed for that cat that we don't have anymore. 8 planks at the oak larder. It's very nice if we had 24 planks. As it currently stands, we have 18, so this is just as good. We can make 2 larders and a chair, or we could just make 3 carved tables here. Either way, we will replace the larder. Regular larder here has tea and milk in it, which are much more useful when we have cups and water and a place to cook things. If we remove this one, build the oak larder, we now can get tea, milk, egg, and flour. Cool. 34 construction. And that is a quest requirement. Crafting table 3, which is an upgrade of crafting table 2, needing even more molten glass. Get some of that at some point here. Eventually we will fill out things once we're done just training here. Also the steel range. Another nice upgrade for the cooking spot. A large oak bed we can put in bedrooms once we have some. Oak shelves 1. Now we can make shelves with oak instead of planks and nails. Boxing gloves for the combat area. An oak prize chest for the games room too. For rewarding the games. How fun. Oak shelves also need a bunch of soft play though, so I can make that right now. Mostly just doing planks stuff, unless we feel better and want to do something else. Getting steel bars with this inventory is very annoying. Go get a pickaxe, go mine, smelt, drop things. 35 construction. These steel bars are necessary. New quest requirement. Lots of quest requirements we're getting out of the way. Be good to have in the future. I have to go through all the construction requirements and see what we need to get here soon. But construction's a main goal we're working on, so levels are going to be flying in here still. New room. The quest hall. Much like the skill hall, goes in all the directions. You can put anything anywhere. Very good stuff. A whetstone for the repair section. This one can fix broken arrows and staffs and sharpen rusty swords. Ain't that something? Not very helpful. Teak chairs for the parlor. Tool store 3, which we'll definitely be adding. We add small portraits to the quest hall. And later, workshop tier 2. This time we are actually building the new location here. We want, specifically, the quest hall. It's going all the way down here for 25,000 coins. Build it. And make sure we have the things in the correct spot to be helpful. Rotate. Guild trophy space, portrait space, landscape space, sword space, map space. That should be good. The staircase is that way. It's fine. Build it. And in the guild trophy space, we've got what we need later. Next, we need to build the stair space. Right here. An oak staircase. Which direction? Going up. Build it. Now we have an oak staircase going this way. Ideally, a spiral staircase would be better, but that is not until a much higher level, unfortunately. Climb up the staircase. It doesn't lead anywhere. Want to build a room at the top? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Few problems with this plan. That's alright. Up here, we want a skill hall. Go for it. Down here in this room, we have the bookcase, guild trophy, portrait, landscape, sword, map. Put a bunch of stuff in here. Climb up. Here is this one. We can build the armor space here. Basic, decorative, intricate, profound, Castle Wars armors. Over here we get the mithril adamant rune set here. Also a head trophy space, rune case space, fishing trophy space, runefest case space. Not really. We don't have the rooms we need here though right now. So we're going to need to actually have temporary bedrooms. We can make it happen though. Downstairs. Let's slap them on the end here. I'll be fine. We will be moving these, and by moving I mean destroying and recreating them. Or we can just get to 50 without doing it. That might be easier. Be faster this way though. We'll build a bedroom. Doesn't really matter which way we put it. Build it here. And then build another one. Because we're getting ready to have servants. And we need 2 bedrooms. We also need beds in the bedrooms though. So, gonna need to go get stuff for that. Needed bolts of cloth for this. Easily doable. Just gonna go with the regular oak bed. Doesn't make a huge difference. Especially since we're going to be removing these rooms anyways. We might make our own bedroom fancier in the future. But for right now, it doesn't really matter. There is 2 beds, 2 bedrooms. Ready to get some servants in here. But not just yet. 36 construction. That is Dragon Bitter Barrel. Infinite supply of Dragon Bitter. Always fun. Mounted bass. So if we had a big bass from all of our big net fishing, we could now mount that. Have to go to the taxidermist in Canifis. They also mount a few other things. And also teak wall decorations if you want to replace the oak ones. First thing to use is teak, possibly. Well, that's fun. That would require us to go get teak planks though. So probably not going to do that. 1, they're really far away. 2, they're more expensive. 37 construction. Well, that is the menagerie later, once that exists. Along with the garden habitat, oak pet house, oak pet feeder. What we do get is an oak dresser for the bedrooms, lesser magic balance game, and the teak bell pull, which is like the bell pull, except for made of teak. 38 construction. Teak dining table and teak dining benches for here in the dining room. Again, using teak. Just gonna keep using oak. Minor Slayer monster head here. Could be cockatrice or crawling hand or basilisk. All these are like 1 in thousands of drops from the various monsters. Put up a small map and maximum of 22 rooms. Oh boy. Nowhere close to 22 rooms. We can make a really fancy house if we wanted to. 39 construction. Oak wardrobe for the bedroom. More clothes change options. Jester game for the games room. And also a clay attack stone that you can attack. That's the game. You attack it. 40 construction. Milestone. Achievement. Whole bunch of cool stuff. That is a quest and mini quest requirement. New room. The study. Teak bed for the bedroom. Mahogany bookcases for all the different places with bookcases. An oak lectern. We can put in the study. Opulent curtains, which use teak planks. New servant, the butler. The tropical wood house style, which goes with the Brimhaven portal. Tropical cave and mown grass, a couple from that. Base camp, player large, tier 1, construction contracts, medium pens in the manor farm, guardhouse tier 1, maple frames, and refined maple planks are later. We got a new room we can build here. Could have some benefits to this one. So we'll make a study. Let's see. Study. 50,000 coins. And we can build this either direction here. And I'm slightly concerned about the fact that the telescope space is going to be in a wall either way. Not like we really need it though. And that'll be funny, so it's okay. We'll build it right this side. That should be fine. Lots of stuff in this room. We got a wall chart, lectern, statue later, crystal ball, a big globe, more wall charts, bookcases in here too, which is where we're going to need a bookcase, so we'll put the bookcases in here. Oak bookcases. There you go. Could make a lectern. I mean, we got the oak planks. Might as well. Later on, with the eagle and demonic lecterns, actually make different things in it. This is just for show. Study the lectern. We can make not much. Teleport tabs. And enchantment tabs and stuff. Later. Also, I think we're going to go get that new butler. The level 40 butler is butler. Right here. Good day, sir. Together to hire a good butler for 5,000 coins. What can you do? I can fulfill all sir's domestic service needs with efficiency and impeccable manners. I hate to boast, but I can say with confidence that no mortal can make trips to the Banker sawmill faster than I. Indeed, it is 12 seconds. Second best. What was it? Talk about your previous jobs. We're doing a whole interview here. From a humble beginning as a dishwasher, I've worked my way up through the ranks of domestic service in the households of nobles from Varrock and Ardoin. As a lifelong servant, I've naturally suppressed any personality of my own and trained myself never to use the second person when talking to a superior. I've usually worked in large households of the aristocracy, but now that such a large number of private persons are building their own houses, I decided to offer them my services. I will accept your services. For 5,000 coins, you're hired. I've got an oak bed with your name on it. It's great. You can start working immediately. Fantastic. We will see if we can't make use of his helping us immediately. Immediately. I'm just gonna need some oak logs. The butler can take 20 items and do stuff with them. So we do have space to open up here. Drop some runes on the ground. Chop some more logs. Always just run over to Port Serum and buy more elemental runes at least. For the time being, this should be okay. Pop in here. Get the butler to do stuff for us. Yes, sir. Go to the bank/sawmill. Take something to the sawmill. So there, sir. Sir would care to give me the logs. Use some logs on the butler. Sawmill. 250 coins per log. That was the correct amount. Amount 20. And he will run off with 20 logs. And then we need to consider what we want to make with 20 planks once he gets back in 12 seconds. He's back. There you go. So again, remove some stuff, build some stuff. These are 8. Run down here and do a bench. All the benches are fine. Then we just leave, get more logs, do that over and over. 12 seconds beyond the chopping time. Definitely faster. For only a little bit of cost. And we don't need to drop the other runes just yet. This is good. 41 construction. Well, that is the shield easel. Next upgrade in the painting things portion of the workshop. This I'm going to do shields, like it says it does. Useful for coloring up steel or rune helms and kite shields. There you go. Put a globe in the study, rune display case in one of the halls or something, fence and ring for the combat room, and a obelisk in a room that doesn't exist yet. 42 construction. And that is, later, unfortunately, a new room, the costume room. Going to be very important, but doesn't exist yet. Of the rooms that don't exist, this is the one that's going to be out soonest. So we will get there. Not too long. We'll also build the fancy range. Best cooking spot. We'll need to get a bunch of steel bars for that. That's alright. Crafting table 4 upgrade. Using more bits added on to stuff. Wardrobe in the costume room. That doesn't exist yet. We could mount our sword in the sword spot over here. Either Dark Light or Excalibur. Go grab those from somewhere. Put them up there. Just a fun decoration. A crystal ball in the study. And much later, hidey holes medium. Very good. Here's the first payment to the servant. If you do not pay me, I'll have to give you my notice, sir. My fee is 5,000 coins. Pay servant, 5,000 coins. We also have the don't ask again system. We will use that. So whenever he wants to be paid, he will just be paid. We can also just not pay, and he won't do anything until we pay him. Or we can just fire him. And that is why they take their first payment up front. So you can't just have them show up and then fire them immediately. But yeah, pay them. Everything's great. Now we can make use of the servant here. 43 construction. Well, that is the alchemical chart, bit of decoration, and the teak larder. Better than the oak larder, but also awkward because it needs bolts of cloth. Since we're currently using the oak larder for the training, definitely not going to replace it with a teak larder for right now. But it does have more things in it too. It's got tea, milk, eggs, flour, potatoes, garlic, onions, and cheese. Well, then again, there's also the food store in Lumbridge basement, so not super necessary. 44 construction. Well, that is a quest requirement. Carved teak benches. Oh boy. Tool store 4. We should definitely get that going. Oak fancy dress box. That's for the costume room. Wooden telescope. Could put that in our study. Currently doesn't face a wall. Will be soon. Small landscape pictures. Can either be Lumbridge, Mauritania, or the desert. Weapons rack for the combat room. Teak prize chest for the games room prize. And we can go up to 23 rooms. 45. Construction. New room. The chapel. Also a quest requirement. There you go. Carved teak dining table. If we want to replace our carved oak dining table here. A large teak bed for the bedrooms. Oak shelves, 2 for the kitchen. We're going to decide which shelf we want later. Put some maple trees in the garden. An oak altar for the chapel. Steel torches in the chapel. Up to 6x6 house size. And later on, Anachronia small pen and Town Hall Tier 2. So we want to put in this chapel. We're going to put it right here. Remove the parlor. The butler kind of spawns in the parlor, so that's kind of awkward. But we can just go to the bell pull, have him spawn here, then get our planks made. So that works fine. Remove the parlor. It doesn't actually do anything for us. And build in this spot a chapel. 50,000 coins. Make sure it's correct rotation here, so it connects into the kitchen there, and build it. Lots of stuff going on in the chapel here. Put another rug up, windows, for like various things, icons, burners, music, statues, and altar. Just make the oak altar here, 4 oak planks. And with this, we can restore prayer. It works as an altar. Let me get some prayer going. And then we can just restore at our house. Very convenient location for restoring prayer. Very good. 46 construction. Steel framed workbench. Upgrade for the workbench in the workshop. Teak dressers for the bedrooms. And oak armor cases don't exist yet. Those are in the costume room. 47 construction. Very important level. Quest requirement. Not bad. The real big best in slot sink here. 15 steel bars. My goodness. Oak eagle and oak demon lecterns. Of these, we'd go for the eagle one, since that is teleport tabs. Much more useful than enchant tabs. Also bones to bananas, but we can't really go to the mage training arena right now. Jungle habitat for the menagerie, which doesn't exist. And the mounted amulet of glory. 3 teak planks and an amulet of glory. Probably uncharged. I need to deal with that. We can put that up in our hall over there for infinite glory teleports. Once we have everything else we're doing here done, and we're running out getting teak planks, we will get that for that. We're going to do quite a bit of teak construction in a bit, once we get a few more levels. 48 construction. That is the Chef's Delight barrel. Very fancy stuff for our beer area. Oak treasure chest in the costume, which doesn't exist. We can put up symbols of Ceradomin, Guthix, or Zamorak in the chapel, and swap out our oak staircase for a teak staircase. Except probably not, because the rooms need to be connected, and getting rid of the staircase might delete the room or something. Not worrying about that right now. 49 construction. Fairy hunt. Treasure hunt fairy house for the games room. Wooden torches. chapel wind chimes, small chapel statues, and shuttered chapel windows for the chapel, obviously. Lots of stuff we could put in there. Or if we want to shutter the windows, there's better windows later. 50. Construction. Milestone. Achievement. And base 50s. Been one day, and we're already caught up with the room crafting level here. Hilarious. 3 quest requirements. A new room. The portal chamber. Unsurprisingly, it's got portals in it, in the form of teak portal frames, and a teleport focus in the middle. Also got a teak altar for the chapel. New fancy ornamental globe for the study. Oak toy box, which doesn't exist yet for the costume room. Mahogany armchairs, very fancy. Don't think we have any rooms that have chairs in them anymore though, so oh well. And the next butler, the demon butler. He's better than the regular butler. The butler did say they were the best mortal butler around. So there you go. Also later, access to Livid Farm. Yay! Can make the stat room range, the start room range in Daemonheim. We do get 24 rooms, which we're still not going to be using that many rooms. Could switch to the fancy stone style now. Also later, shifting tombs, construction contracts with oak planks, kitchen tier 2, Woodcrest Grove tier 1, Woodcrest Grove tier 2, 4-3 Eastern side gate, Acadia frames and refined Acadia planks, Ranger's Room tier 1. So lots of stuff. Level 50. It's a good level. We're halfway there, obviously. And now, we got a new room. We're going to put it in here. The portal chamber. Level 50. 100,000 coins. Very expensive. Very cool. And it only has one entrance. We'll just place it here. Can't rotate it around or anything. In here, we have the centerpiece where we need to put the teleport focus, and 3 portal spaces. Which is an unfortunate number, because there are 7 teleports we can put in here. And I want all of them. So that means we are going to be spending another 100,000 coins for 3 more portal spots. And then, in a ridiculous fashion, another 100,000 coins for a singular portal. Are we ever going to use 7 of these portals often enough to make it worth doing that? Probably not. I'm doing it anyways. But now we need all the things to get the portals up and running here. The centerpieces require limestone. The portals require teak. And since we're going to be getting teak anyway, we could put our glory into. That'd be good. Go grab some runes over in Port Sarum to teleport around. Telegrim for the limestone. Easy enough. And then I guess we'll chop teaks on Apatol. It's just one of the easier places to get to. Bring those back to our butler to turn them into teak planks. Make some stuff. Make some other stuff. Get this up and running. Also, once we're done, we need to get runes. So many runes. Got a few extra limestone bricks for a few other things to build. Teleport focus here. Doesn't actually do anything until you put the portal frames in. So, focus here. Build one over here. It's going great. Also going to put in some statues in the chapel. Why not? Small statues. Replace these with larger statues later, maybe. Looks nice. And a fireplace in the dining room. Looking all snazzy. Stone fireplace. Very nice. These last two are going to be another fireplace. And these cloth are for new beds. Let's remove the bedrooms. They don't look as nice, just hanging off the edge here. But for that, we need some oak planks. We're gonna go chop some oaks, use the butler, get everything going. And he's back with our planks. We're gonna be putting the bedrooms upstairs. Now that we have the portal rooms here, we can actually build additional rooms up here. Bedrooms, only 10,000 coins. Much better. Build one here. And then build another one here. Technically, we currently have 4 bedrooms. That's not really a problem or anything. Build it. We just need to get the beds installed. For the servants area, doesn't need anything more than a bed. We might put some more stuff in our room, just to be snazzy. Like a fireplace. There's all these other spots here too. We're gonna do a full decoration a bit later. There's gonna be a room over here later. That'll be fine. Now we can go down this way and remove the old bedrooms. Well, the servant will still be down here. He seems to be spawning in the dining room / kitchen area mostly. So that's perfect. Remove the unnecessary downstairs bedrooms by building in the door spot and removing the rooms. That shrinks our floor plan here. Back again. Looks like it's darker inside these rooms because there's rooms on top of them. That's wild. Anyways, now we need to go get a whole bunch of teak. And based on the amount of inventory space, it's going to take 2 trips here. Great. To make 7 portal frames. And a glory. Teak planks are more expensive than oak planks. Instead of 250, they are 500 coins per log. And we don't even get, like, double the XP. So, kind of unfortunate. It's wild there's shadows from the rooms on top here. That's not really how light works. That's okay. Build some portal spaces. Teak portal with nothing in it. Times many. Later on, you could switch them out for fancier portals, but we're already gonna have the stuff in the portal. We're not gonna worry about that. And also, uncharge the Amulet of Glory by teleporting to Edgeville 4 times. So we can build Amulet of Glory on the wall here. This allows for teleportation to a whole bunch of spots. Might not have to be in out of building mode though. Build another portal space. Teak portal. So we just need 3 more. And we got 2 planks, so we need a few more. Exit building mode here. We can see what our house looks like outside of building mode right now. Glory to Edgeville, Gramja, Draenor, and Alcarid. And now, we're gonna have enough space to grab some runes here. Direct the portal focus. Direct a portal, you need enough runes for 100 castings of that teleport spell. Combination runes and staffs cannot be used. We got 3 portals here. Then go to Varrock, Lumbridge, Falador, Camelot, Ardoin, Yanil, and Karil, which is Canifis. In total, we need 1,000 law runes. And then a whole bunch of other runes here too. Stuff in the way of 1,400 airs. 100 bloods for the Karil teleport. 300 waters, 300 earths, 100 fires. Lots of stuff. Kind of overspent on the fire runes. That's okay. We need to go to all the shops that we have access to that sell law runes and buy all of the law runes. As if this already wasn't expensive enough. Had to wait for the stores to restock with runes. That's how long it took. Needed so many law runes. Also went and got the rest of the teak here, so we can build the last portals. And now, we can charge all the portals here. Starting from up this way. Direct teleportation focus. We got all the runes we need. 1 Varrock. Opens the portal. Direct portal, the second one, to Lumbridge. There you go. Direct a portal, third one, to Falador. Go to the next room. Direct more portals. Each of these costing 100 times the spell cost. Camelot. Next one, and you go to the next page. This one goes to Ardoin. Next portal, 3 more Yanil. Technically it's Watchtower, but close enough. And the last one, alone in this room. Nowhere more Carol Canifis. And that is a achievement. Look at that. Leave build mode here. And now, just by teleporting to our house with 1 law, 1 air, 1 earth rune, we can go to Varrock, Lumbridge, Falador, Camelot, Ardoin, Watchtower, Canifis, Edgeville, Karamja, Draenor Village, Alcarid. Leave the portal to go to Remington. Change where our house is to be in Taverley, Brimhaven, Podimnich, Roleka, or actually inside Yanil. Although we can't really do that right now, since we have the oak trees outside in Remington that we're using. Because we still need to train more. We're going to be training more better with not the butler. You're fired. Yep. Very well, sir. Another benefit of the Yanil and Ardoin portals in here is it only uses 1 law rune to teleport to the house instead of the 2 law runes that this took. So that's actually a savings. That's something. Since we are 50 construction, we can go get the better servant here for future use. Faster than the regular butler. It is the demon butler. Greetings. I am Halathasdrar, butler to the demon lords. I offer thee my service for a mere 10,000 coins. What can you do? I have learned my trade under the leash of some of the harshest masters of the demon dimensions. I can cook to satisfy the most infernal stomachs and fly on wings of flame to deposit thine items in the bank or bring planks from the sawmill in seconds. He's not lying. 12 seconds for the regular butler, 5 for the demon butler. So, really speeds things up. And it better because it's twice the cost. How about your previous jobs with the demons? For millennia, I have served and waited on the mighty demon lords of the infernal dimensions. I began as a humble footman in the house of Lord Thamaron, and for several centuries, as a private valet to Delrith. I have also worked in the grim underworld, escorting the souls of the dead to their final abodes. But the incessant shadows and hellfire weary me, so I've come to serve mortal masters in the realms of light. This sounds like a perfectly fine idea. You are hired. Welcome to the team. Shall devote my every art to thy service, my master. We got a demon butler now. Wild stuff. Yeah. These escapades have cost us 1.5 million coins so far. So we're down to 4.5 million. And we're definitely going to be spending way, way more as we continue training construction. We've got some very high level things we'd like to get. So eventually it's going to be a combination of training construction, getting money, doing other things. It's going to be a drawn out process. But for all of the transportation options that it gives us, totally worth it. And later, even other really good stuff. Pretty soon, we'll have access to even more transportation from a slightly different source. We can use our house to get nearby to access that system. Kind of like with the trees and gliders. But that is not just yet. One other thing we need to do before we get to that. next time. Goodbye.